Transitions are almost always signs of growth, but they can bring feelings of loss. To get somewhere new, we may have to leave somewhere else behind. Welcome, and I'm so glad that you're here. Here we talk about personal development, relationships, and mental health, just to name a few. My name is Carmen, a registered counsellor who is passionate about coming alongside people. This podcast is designed to create a discussion and bring awareness around what matters most in life, and that includes you. The goal is that each episode will leave you feeling encouraged, equipped, and empowered so you can live your best life. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode. I hope you're keeping well, and I look forward to spending the next few moments with you. Before we get into today's topic, what have you been getting up to in the last week? I've had the great joy of joining Crave Fitness for their Sunday Glow Talk, and we continued the discussion around courage. I walked away feeling encouraged myself. It reminded me of how important it is to be surrounded by people who are generous with their words and having those in your corner who believe in you, especially when you feel like throwing in the towel. In my last episode, I set out a challenge, and the challenge was to reflect on the moments you were courageous. If you haven't taken the moment to stop and think about how far you've come, I highly recommend that you still do. Sometimes we may feel discouraged and need some reminding of how far we have come, and that in itself can help us take the next step. Courage can take on many shapes and forms, and perhaps easy to miss at times. As the saying goes, one door shuts and another door opens. Sometimes we choose to close and open doors, and sometimes the door gets shut in our faces. Today is all about transitions. Transitions require energy, and it can be tiring, no matter if the destination that we are heading towards is pleasant or not. This is because change of any sort requires adjustment. William Bridges, an English professor, maps out the cycle of change into 3 discrete stages. According to Bridges, every transition begins with an ending and ends with a beginning. In between endings and beginnings is a discomforting neutral zone that most people would rather avoid, but it's essential for personal growth. At this moment in your life, where do you find yourself in this cycle of change? Endings. If only life was as simple as they all lived happily ever after. While some endings can bring a sense of relief or new opportunities, some endings can leave us in a heap of devastation or grief. Either way, when we move from the known into the unknown, this can be daunting, no matter what side of the fence we find ourselves. So if you find yourself at this stage, it might be easier to push your emotions aside, especially if they lean towards unpleasant feelings. Validating your experience can assist with the sense of loss, and you can do this by journaling. Moving into the neutral zone. This period can be brief or long. And if you have listened to other episodes, I am a big advocate for self-care. I understand the importance of it in my own life and taking the time to recharge. If you are already self-caring, you may revisit what you are doing to ensure it's still working for you. Sometimes we need to adjust what self-care looks like as our lives change. No matter if you feel like you are heading towards the promised land or towards the wilderness, again, take the time to process how you're feeling and check in with yourself and others. If you require the support of a loved one or a professional, ask for it. You know yourself best and put in place what you feel like you need to navigate the transition well. According to Psychology Today, researchers in the stress and coping field know that social support is one of the most significant keys to successfully managing change. Even an online community of people going through similar experiences can give you an emotional boost, as well as some practical tips. The beginning of a new chapter can bring a range of mixed emotions, and I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes we can put the expectation on ourselves to be, think, or act a certain way, which can be counterproductive. At times, we can be our own worst critic, so remember to be kind to yourself in the process. And I understand that this can be easier said than done. Use this opportunity to learn about your strengths and close any gaps in your life. Look for the gold in the transition, even if it's just one thing. The situation might not be what you have chosen or hoped for, but sometimes the only choice that is left is how we navigate it. On a finishing note, transitions are a part of life. While some transitions are longer than others, some are welcomed, avoided, planned, or catch us by surprise. I desire that you have the support and tools to assist you as you move through these stages. If you are feeling stuck or need a safe place to talk things through, ask for the support you deserve. As always, it's a pleasure to be able to spend these moments with you. So that's it for today's episode. As always, I'm grateful for the opportunity to come alongside you. If you know someone who might benefit from hearing this episode, why not share it with them? For more content, head over to carmendebono.com.au and I look forward to coming alongside you again next Wednesday.